So let's go through some tips and tricks to help you in creating pages that you can use on OneNote quickly, effectively, and hopefully efficiently. So a couple of useful toolbar buttons. The first one is the resize to fit width button. So on the view menu, there is this button here that says page width on it. When you click on it, it resizes the page to fit the width. So if you have pressed this one and made it wider so you can make things bigger, just click on that and it will make it fit wider. If you decide you want the sidebar out, again, it will reduce it down. Nice and quick way of in and out zooming, far easier than using fingers or anything like that. I mentioned before on the draw menu, your insert remove white space one is really useful. I find putting gaps between things, I find that really useful. I use it in particular for hiding things. So if I want to share this at the start of the lesson and then rather than scrolling, I will remove the white space to bring the next question up in the same way you might with a spotlight tool on software. The Office Lens app is worth getting for your phone. On the Office Lens app, you can take photos and you can have set up a generic OneNote where you can send all your pictures to, and it sends them to a OneNote page that you can then copy and paste into the right place. I would use that for taking photos. It gets it into OneNote quickly, and then you can share with everyone that you want to, put it in the right OneNote for your class as needed. So there are 5 ways of inserting files and they all do slightly different things. So you have the standard drag and drop. So drag and drop, you just start with File Explorer, you grab your file, you drag and you let go. And when you let go, it gives you these 3 options: upload and insert link, insert as attachment, insert as printout. If you want to write on it, click as insert as printout and it will convert it to a PDF and insert it as a printout. So here we have a Word document, a PDF document, and your picture that you can now write on. There's a print driver that comes when you have the app installed. So for example, if you are on a website and you've generated a worksheet and you would like to insert that, rather than printing it to a file and then drag and dropping the file in, you can hit print, and then one of your printer drivers up here will be OneNote for Windows. Click on print and it will do exactly the same thing. So it will ask you where do you want it to go. You can put it on your current page, you can start a new page, you can navigate to the page you want it on if you're in the wrong OneNote when you click print, and it will just drop it on your page for you. So all of the pages there, and these are just pictures, so you can write on them and delete them as you want. So embedding a PowerPoint. Again, this is the drag and drop option. So if I grab this one, collecting like terms, and upload to OneNote and insert link, and that one gives you the embedded version. Okay. And then what you've got is you've got the slides that you can click through, and obviously you can resize this to work for you. So copy and paste. If you have a PowerPoint open, you can just grab one of the slides. So I've got PowerPoint open here, click on a slide, Control C, Control V, and it just puts a single slide in. So rather than importing the entire PowerPoint, you can add a single slide. And if you are running Outlook, on the web version and on the apps, there is a send to OneNote option. When the email is open, if you click send to OneNote, it asks you to navigate to which OneNote you'd like it in, and it will create a new page with the contents of the email. And if that has inline pictures, it will put the pictures in the email for you. So looking at time, I'm just going to go through using the maths function, and some of these will be on a handout for you to have a look at after the fact. So the maths function, if you type in any maths equation or function, click on Maths on the draw window, having highlighted it, and you can select an action. You can solve and you can graph. And if you graph, it gives you a graph here that you can identify various points on if you wish to, and click Insert on Page, and it will add it to the page. You can also solve equations. So the same idea, select Maths, select an action, solve for X. Gives you the solutions on the left-hand side, right-hand side. It gives you the steps, and you can drop the steps in as well. This is on for students in their area if you've got Class Notebook, but there is an option to turn it off for a specific amount of time. Okay, but you can't turn it off indefinitely. And then the last one I'm going to look at for the moment is how you can change your background. So this is what it looks like automatically. White background is what happens normally. If you go to the view menu and page color, you can select your page colors. And if you go to the rule lines, you can select squares. Now I often find blue on blue doesn't work so well, so I make it yellow. In the draw menu under ink, under shapes, there are some axes. They are not labeled, but it will give you a nice set of axes if you're struggling to get your lines in place. So I'm going to end by just looking at a little bit of student feedback. So I asked my classes to give me one positive and one negative of me using OneNote all the time in the classroom. And I appreciate these are quite hard to read because they are quite small. However, essentially the positives are that you can pull up your notes at any time, you can look back at everything that has been taught. Their negatives are mainly with syncing issues. OneNote does have syncing issues if you try and close it before it has synced everything. Up in the top corner here, you have a cloud with an arrow, and every time you do something, you'll notice you get a spinny thing here while it syncs. If you close OneNote while it is still syncing, it is likely to cause some sync issues at the other end, and students occasionally do that. So yes, there have been some sync issues. Some days are worse than others, but generally the positives considerably outweigh the negatives. So as I said, definitely things on this list of tips and tricks that I haven't gone over. I will put those together on a handout, and if you have any other questions or things you'd like to ask, if you pop them in the Q&A, and we'll see if we can help you. Thank you.